Hey, what's going on there, folks? Welcome back here to another update on this Sunday morning. It is the Earthmaster here on this end, February 18th, 2024. It's about 9:45 a.m. here, California time. Latest activity here on the Earthquake 3D globe. Let's see, it's hiding out here somewhere. Looks like a 2.9 over here across the area of Turkey. And yeah, we'll get to the earthquake activity here in just a little bit. I want to cover first what's coming out here for the West Coast today and tomorrow. Big time storm system coming in with even the potential to bring some tornado activity here as we head into the day on Monday. Quite rare out here for the region. We do get tornadoes on occasion. I've caught at least two here over the last, over the last 10 years or so. About a couple years ago, just north of Chico there, I caught the first tornado of the year across the 48 states here. So tomorrow is going to be an interesting day. I am going to be out live streaming this event, so make sure you guys subscribe and click that notification bell so you can get notified when we go live as we're out observing this potential for some severe weather. So there it is, 5% chance, which is a slight category here in the Sacramento Valley. The Sacramento Valley kind of acts as somewhat of a little miniature tornado alley, right? Really thin dimensions here across the state of California. It does stretch from about Redding all the way down towards the Bakersfield area in terms of valley regions. We're surrounded by the Coast Range here to the west and the Sierra Nevada Mountains to the east here. So kind of a setup tomorrow potentially here for tornado activity. Not a huge hail threat, but it does look like we have the potential of seeing maybe some moderate hail out here. That's a little rare. Most of the time we get some pea-sized hail with these thunderstorms, maybe a little bit bigger, but we do have the potential of seeing some severe hail tomorrow along with some wind gusts. So things are set up. The area of interest here, of course, is going to be mainly in the 5% zone, but that 2% zone here extends out and about up to about Redding, down to the Stockton area maybe, or just south of Sacramento here. The 5% is just the zone that is the most capable area of seeing the dynamics of the storm system tomorrow. And that includes Sacramento, Stockton, Modesto, Roseville, Elk Grove area. And, of course, that 2% zone, don't count that out because you can see some activity as well. When I caught that tornado outside of Chico here a couple years back, that was in a 2% zone. So we do get tornadoes out here in California. You have to check it out there on my channel. Just look up tornadoes. Tornado in Northern California, a couple different videos there. All right, so let's look at the potential here of what's going on. First, we got a huge rainmaker to deal with, so hopefully I'll be able to get out and about tomorrow to cover the storm system. The main band is coming through later this afternoon and into the evening and overnight, Sunday night. Decent rainfall accumulation out here. We're expecting another 2 to 3 inches of rainfall out here across the Sacramento Valley where I'm at. It is into tomorrow afternoon that we have to watch, and I need to go down to a different scale. There's a couple different models you can run in order to see the convective activity. That is the main band coming through tonight. There could be some embedded thunderstorms with that as well. Now right about right about here or so, we start to see individual cells pop up there tomorrow afternoon. This is 22 Z time. Now that would be about 6 o'clock there in the afternoon. The peak heating is going to be between 1 and 5 maybe in the afternoon. Don't have a lot of daytime heating, but these breaks in the clouds here are going to allow the sun to create a lot of instability at the surface levels. We already have the potential here of uplift and convection with that low pressure system that will be spinning offshore here. Perfect flow of moisture from the southwest. So you mix all that in with the daytime heating and you get these individual cells out there that are capable of rotating into supercell activity. Now there's a line of activity stretching here on the eastern side of the valley down just east of Sacramento. We'll have to watch. And that's, there's a couple different models here. Let me see if the HR, that does not go all the way. We'll go to this one and see what this one's kind of pinpointing here with that second line of activity. Right about here. It's with some of those cells right here And this model is showing a little bit more in the Northern California area, just north of Sacramento here. It looks like those individual cells are capable of popping up. We'll have to watch this. California is a little tricky, just like any other area, in terms of nailing down potential supercells out here. But it looks like we do have at least a chance of seeing that activity stir up here tomorrow. Now there's the wind maker out here, obviously a deepening low pressure system, and that will move on board later this evening. I want to show you guys the potential CAPE value out here. Now CAPE value tells us that the amount of energy, potential energy out here when it comes to these thunderstorms popping up. Now this is actually pretty impressive here for California standards. This is about 11 a.m. here. Notice that CAPE value amping up quite a bit here across the area. It looks like roughly around Chico southward. And as we head a little bit later into the afternoon, that kind of stretches and enhances here across the area. And then after that, things start to die down there because of the lack of heating. But I think that it's going to be an interesting day here tomorrow. I think we may see a tornado or two out here. And I, of course, will be out streaming from the region. I'm probably going to shoot down south here a little bit. I'm not a big fan of the big-time traffic out here. And I can imagine with heavy rain and whatnot how worse the traffic would be. But I'll probably stay just north of Sacramento here and try and cover the northern edge of the 5% zone for tomorrow. So make sure you guys tune in. Should be kind of fun. I will actually live stream here from the GoPro to see a wide angle view. And that, of course, will be here on this channel. All right, what else do we have here? Rainfall accumulation here. Let's go back and double check that. See how much rain we're getting here over the next couple days in this area. California seems to have the most active weather right now. Kind of odd, but hey, that's good because that's where I am at right now. Precipitation, total accumulated precipitation out here. There's the run of the GFS total accumulated precipitation, and it's not bad. Again, it looks like maybe, and certain areas are going to see more than this. This is being a little bit lenient here across Sacramento Valley for the GFS. Let's see what we got for the EMSC. EMSC shows a little bit more in terms of heavier accumulation of precipitation out here. So take your pick, one of the two. It all depends. Again, if you're underneath one of these storm systems, it's going to be much higher than that, but we'll see how today and tomorrow brings out. What it brings about here. All right, taking a look at the earthquake activity out here. Still seeing some movement down in Southern California here. 2.5, the latest, just south of the border. But if you notice over here across the Brawley seismic zone, seen some activity here yesterday still with that 2.6. And a couple other smaller quakes out here in the vicinity. We're not really seeing any major swarming going on out here for now, but we're still kind of keeping an eye on that region that has been somewhat elevated there recently. Earthquake out here from last night, I believe. It's going to be a 3.3. Southern edge of the Cascadia subduction zone that sits right offshore here. Southern end, and then, of course, it stretches all the way up north there for the full subduction level. Mount St. Helens, a little scattered activity here from yesterday. Nothing major going on. And a look out across the rest of the country. Looks like we did have a little shaker out there in the Stonewall Gap area of Colorado, 3.3 earlier this morning. And a little shaking going on out there in the oil fields, it looks like, across Oklahoma and Texas. Aside from that, looking at the broader view of things, a handful of earthquakes here from yesterday. It doesn't look like we've seen any further adjustment, at least right there. New Zealand did see a fairly deep earthquake here last night. I believe that's associated with the Hikurangi subduction zone. Let's see what's going on down there today. It looks like a handful of some smaller quakes as well through the region. Let me double check that there through the GeoNet servers, see what we have. There is that 4.8, 180 kilometers deep there from yesterday. Now these are going to be the felt earthquakes. The unfelt or unnoticeable earthquakes here, going to be quite a few of them. Looks like some ones and twos out here. But it's some of this deeper activity I'm paying attention to underneath the North Island area. Again, the Hikurangi subduction zone sits just offshore here. And, of course, that does extend down underneath the area. So just kind of watching that. Definitely seen some deeper movement quakes out here recently. Could be a sign of things getting amplified there across this region. Definitely continue to keep an eye on it. See what we got for the earthquake drums out here in the last 24 hours or so. I believe that's going to be the 4-pointer right there. 4.8 under North Island. Showed up quite nicely. But since then, really haven't seen too much earthquake activity. A handful of smaller events, as I just showed you in some of the deeper regions there underneath the North Island, New Zealand region. Further to the west, looks like most of the activity on the map here from yesterday. We did see, looks like some deeper activity triggering here across the Indonesia Islands area. But for now, generally small earthquake activity there. 5-pointer out in Afghanistan. Typical movement, it looks like, here today. And this activity occurs pretty much every day anywhere around the globe. So if you're starting to see a little bit of, some posts out here stating that we're seeing more elevated activity than normal, definitely that is not the case. I pulled up activity compared to last year in the same time frame, and we're still behind about 300 to 400 earthquakes compared to last year at this time. So, and this is just daily activity. And this isn't all the activity. This is just what the USGS is covering and also the EMSC. But the EMSC doesn't cover specifically every single earthquake out here because there's other agencies that I would have to add on to the globe, and it would just be a huge clutter of earthquakes, and just kind of keep it minimal like this for now. But we still see the important earthquakes out here. All right, Hawaii, anything major going on out here in the Pacific? Looks like most of the movement here is relatively deep in the Pahala area once again. Not a whole lot of newer activity there across the Kilauea volcano for now. Is USGS working? Kind of slow there. They're definitely having some network issues, it looks like. Unless it's just me. Let me go over here to the volcano hazards map here and see what's going on. I wonder if it's just the Google issue there. Far as earthquake activity and any updates, it looks like this was put out yesterday. There's really not a whole lot of new information here in terms of activity there across the Kilauea volcano. The summit region starting to level off. We did see a slight inflation. This is very minimal even compared to what we had seen in months past. It's dropped down significantly there in the first part of February. A lot of magma was displaced from the summit off to the southwest rift zone. That's why that huge drop is there. And we're just periodically seeing these little elevated events, but we're not even up anywhere near what we had seen prior to this displacement. As far as earthquake activity in the region here, let me go down here and check out this seismograph station. That one's offline. See if this one's working. It is online and it's up and running. Not a whole lot of earthquake activity at all on that map. So just kind of keeping an eye on things. Not going to be super active all the time, right? What else we got out here? Let me see if I'm missing anything. Alaska's still seeing activity up north here. Aside from that, I think let's check out space weather, see if anything's going on here. I know last night things were looking about as dead as can be. We've dropped here in the potential solar flare activity. Only a 5% chance for X flare probability. M flare at 40, C flare around 99% chance. Still seeing some C flare activity out here. And it looks as though maybe there'll be an active region way out here on the eastern limb that we're going to have to watch in the coming days as that rotates into view. But for now, we're left with a whole lot of disorganized sunspot activity here. So not a whole lot of hope in terms of a solar flaring out here for now. There's the aurora forecast. Well, not a whole lot, unfortunately. So hopefully we can change that here soon and get some auroras down on the forecast once again. All right, so live seismograph stations here. A little earthquake activity across Hot Caves, Yellowstone National Park, a little spike. I better double check the Yellowstone map and see what's going on. Doesn't look like much. This is pretty recent here, right? 2:18, 17:30 UTC time, right there. So, yeah, not a whole lot going on there through Yellowstone. All right, folks. Again, I'm going to be out and about doing some coverage here today for the flooding. I mean, we picked up almost an inch of rain yesterday and last night, and the roads, there's quite a few roads out here closed already. And we're going to have a couple more inches of rainfall on top of this today. So I'm going to go out and cover some road closures and whatnot in terms of media production. Aside from that, I may go live out here just to test out the video stream while I'm out in the mobile, just to make sure everything's up and running as it should, because I will be live streaming tomorrow for the event. 5% chance. I mean, I kind of have to. I can't sit this one out. This is a kind of a big deal in terms of the tornado potential out here across Northern California. It's, again, we do get tornadoes on occasion. Nothing big like we see back in the Midwest and the Plains states, but you know, check it out. I got a couple different videos on my channel. You just have to search through the channels or through the videos. I got one called Tornado Touches Down outside of Willows, California. Caught a EF1 out here back in 2014. And then the one in Chico was in 2000. Oh, when was that? 2021, I think. Just caught it just north here off 99 near Vina, I think is the town up here. It was pretty neat. Very nice photogenic tornado that touched down in a field for a few seconds. You know, it's not a long time. I don't think it did any damage, maybe to a shed or something out there close nearby, but it was cool. That was just north of Chico, so check that out. Pretty neat video. But aside from that, we'll catch you guys back here a little bit later. I may go live again, like I said, on my mobile device just to test out some things. So if you see the live stream go up on the mobile device, stop in and say hi. Just going to do some video checks and some audio checks to make sure everything's working right for tomorrow's event. We'll catch you guys back here a little bit later. Take care. Stay safe out there.